Tonight, the desperate search for survivors in Texas, with more rain making rescues riskier tonight. Hundreds of first responders combing hill country to try to find anyone left alive. Nearly 80 people killed so far in those devastating flash floods. Dozens still missing, including girls from a sleepaway camp. Our correspondent getting a view from above with the Coast Guard, and on the ground, catastrophic destruction. Flood survivors now sharing more about their terrifying escapes.
I've seen it flood, but I've never seen it come up this high.
What they saw while the water rose faster than they could have imagined. More than 20 feet in about an hour, plus the threat of more rain in the flood zone right now. Also tonight, more bad weather means delays for many as millions head home after the holiday weekend. And the new date to circle, just days out from a White House deadline to reach trade deals to avoid tougher tariffs. Plus, what the president's saying late today about Elon Musk's third-party announcement. President Trump set to meet with Israel's prime minister tomorrow as the push for a Gaza ceasefire ramps up. A strip mall exploding overnight. How a massive car crash started it all. Look at that. National parks more popular than ever. How they're handling more visitors with fewer staff this summer. And there's good news tonight about a small town marking its historic holiday milestone.
This is NBC Nightly News with Hallie Jackson.
Good evening. We are coming on the air tonight with new complications and new evacuations from more rain near where hundreds of rescuers are trying to find any survivors of that horrific flash flooding catastrophe. A staggering number, nearly 80 people killed. Among them, children at an all-girls camp along the banks of the Guadalupe River. We are getting our first look now at these scenes from that camp. Rescue dogs, flipped cars, smashed cabins. Its owner believed to have died trying to save campers, some of whom were able to escape alive. You'll hear from one of those teenagers tonight, as you can see a truck bed full of girls making their way out. And new video as the Coast Guard rescued others in the area. Look at this, pulling this man up in a basket. But among the missing, 11 people from Camp Mystic, a local fire chief believed to be washed away in the floods. The water rising so fast it carried away whole houses. Look at this one slamming into a bridge. Now, tonight, new warnings to get out ASAP, with thunderstorms set to swamp an already saturated region overnight, with any rain adding more risk to this massive response. We have team coverage tonight, starting with our Ryan Chandler on the ground for us. Ryan, good evening.
Well, Hallie, that worst weather has arrived. Some very unwelcome rain coming here as these rescuers move to try and find signs of life and triggering that alert that so many people here have learned to fear, warning people to move to higher ground. Rising water threatening the Texas Hill Country tonight as so many are still missing along the Guadalupe. Families yearn for answers more than 60 hours after catastrophic flooding devastated this area Friday. At least 79 people are reported dead across central Texas, most of the deaths along this river. Officials say 68 people are dead in Kerr County alone, among them 28 children. Some young girls at Camp Mystic washed away.
It was nothing short of horrific to see what those young children went through.
10 girls and a counselor are still missing. Is the priority rescue at this point or recovery?
So obviously, we're going to do our best to try to rescue anybody that's still out there and needing a rescue.
We joined the Coast Guard as they searched from the sky, 1,000 feet above the river. From up here, you can see the swollen riverbanks for miles. The U.S. Coast Guard is scanning this entire area for heat signatures that may lead to rescues or recoveries. But after they told me on this flight, they did not spot any signs of life.
We're desperate at this point.
Allison Edwards rushed here from Austin to find her father, Steve, who she says was swept away while saving her mother from their RV. What keeps you holding on to hope that you'll find your dad?
Our dad's a fighter. He's always been a fighter, and I know he has a strong will, and he'd do everything he could to get back to us.
The National Weather Service giving its timeline of when it alerted people to potential flooding. It says Kerrville was alerted early Thursday. A flash flood warning tagged as considerable came in at 1:14 Friday morning. They say that tag automatically triggers cell phone alerts. And the White House tonight saying the National Weather Service did their job.
Oh my God!
This new video showing the moment Rita Olson and her family realized the floodwaters were approaching. A first responder coming to her house, urging them to evacuate. Some places seeing more than 20 inches of rain in the last 3 days.
I've seen it flood, but I've never seen it come up this high.
This video taken from a bridge in Kerr County Friday shows just how fast the river rose. You can see a wave of water rush in, and in little more than half an hour, all this debris piling up. And then in the distance, a house crashing here, high above what had just been a creek.
This is the worst I've seen it.
Tonight, for all those who call Central Texas home, desperation grows as each hour passes.
Ryan is back with us now. And Ryan, we've now heard President Trump suggest he will visit the area later this week.
That's right, Hallie. President Trump saying late today he's probably coming to this area of Texas on Friday. That comes as the White House moves to defend the National Weather Service and the timeline of its warnings. Hallie.
Ryan Chandler, near where those first responders are taken off in Kerrville, Texas. We're also learning more tonight about the victims of these floods, including the youngest ones, and the stories of survivors in Central Texas. Our Morgan Chesky reports.
I think while it was going on, I kind of felt like a sense of numbness.
For Stella Thompson, reality still sounds unbelievable. The 13-year-old, one of hundreds evacuated from Camp Mystic, amid a river turned nightmare.
You'd see kayaks like in trees, and it was kind of horrific because we had no idea. There were huge trees ripped out of the ground, and it didn't look like Camp Mystic anymore.
Now, as uncertainty hangs heavy, tragic closure coming to many. Renee Smystrola, Eloise Peck, and Janie Hunt confirmed as 3 of the lives lost at Camp Mystic, where 10 campers and 1 counselor still remain missing. Smystrola's family sharing, while not the outcome we prayed for, we are thankful she was with her friends and having the time of her life. The family of fellow camper Eloise Peck sharing, the family is grieving and processing this unimaginable loss. Here at Camp Mystic, where volunteers are still scouring the river, friends of the family say owner Dick Eastland sprang into rescue mode, putting multiple girls inside an SUV as those waters rose. He tried to drive to safety, but was soon overtaken. On social media, his grandson writing, if he wasn't going to die of natural causes, this was the only other way, saving the girls that he so loved.
The first text it was already at her bed. That's what woke her up. I mean, it came up so fast. She had so many hobbies.
Jeeper and Julie Ragsdale are still coming to terms with the abrupt loss of their beloved sister Jane, the longtime head of the Heart of the Hills camp nearby, which also flooded.
Sounds like she devoted her entire life to helping these girls.
She just wanted, to me, like she just wanted to give back her childhood experiences to other children. It gave her so much joy that I think that's what drew her to it.
But amid so much loss, stories of survival and heroism.
It's a miracle that she did survive it, I think. I mean, it's a God thing to me.
Carl Jeter spotting this woman clutching onto a tree as floodwaters rush beneath. Her car long since washed away. Jeter flagging a DPS agent to radio firefighters who were finally able to rescue her after the more than 4-hour ordeal.
I mean, it had to have been like swimming a marathon. I mean, it just, I don't get, I mean, I'm not going to try to understand it. It's just absolutely a miracle.
Morgan Chesky is joining us now from Kerrville. And Morgan, you know, our viewers may not know this is your hometown. You know this place, you know these people. And I wonder if you could share more about what it's been like covering such a difficult and nightmarish moment for your community.
Yeah, Hallie, there really aren't the words. You cover disasters to some degree for a living, and then it hits your own hometown, and you're at an absolute loss. I am fortunate enough to say that my family is safe. My mother did evacuate overnight as the waters rose, but we do have friends who are directly impacted by this, and please know that our hearts are with them forever through this. Hallie, I will say that the heartbreak is only added to by scenes such as the one I'm about to show you now. This is a debris pile about 100 yards from where we're standing that crews have been digging through for the last several hours. My mother tells me that they pulled 2 bodies from that will likely only be added to what is a tragic death toll here. Hallie.